Hey, how you doing?
Hi.
Carl Gilliard, that's me, and that is the lovely Latonya Black.
How you doing?
Hey.
Yes, it's me.
It's been, you sure?
Yeah.
It's been a long time because, you know, I was in Chicago and what was going on? This stuff, right?
This stuff.
But we're glad to be back and glad you are back with us.
Yeah.
So there is a subject that was on the Twice Married Brother thread group a few weeks ago. And it was written by, the article was written by a lady named Meg Conley. Meg Conley. And the subject matter was 5 reasons. You already know.
Go ahead.
5 reasons you should have sex with your husband every night. So, look, you know, we aren't married, but we both have been married twice, and it's not the 2 fingers piece. That's 2 marriages, and that's 4 between us.
Yeah.
But that's not the point. The point is that we can relate certainly to this article and the impact it can have on a marriage. So I just want to talk about the 5 reasons why she says that husbands and wives should have. And by the way, this is a woman who wrote this article, ladies. Don't write me a letter saying about a dude. A woman wrote this article. Her name is Meg, as in Megan or Margaret or something like that. Okay, right. The first reason. She's a mother, so she runs around chasing kids all the time, and the sex makes her feel more like a woman again after dealing with kids and the whole rigmarole of a house and taking care of a home and whatever she's doing. Mm-hmm. That connection with her husband through sex brings her back to her feminine place. Right. Here's one of my favorites. Number 2. It helps a man feel like a man. She says, in her own words, that men are more simpler. We just need to be fed, we need to be appreciated, and we need sex. And so by doing this and giving us this every single day, it helps us be more us.
Well, no, I'm laughing because as soon as you say that, I'm a female. I know the females are like, every day? You don't do that every day. I'll let you go through some of the other ones before I tackle that one.
Okay. Here's another great one. You need a moment just for the 2 of you. The 2 of you, and how intimate and how 2 of you can it get. 2 of you, then.
But that can really save your marriage.
Well, you know, that came up in the thread. We'll get to that. She was saying, a couple of them were saying that it can't, but I disagree too.
It can't.
Number 4, and this is absolutely true physiologically, sex relieves stress. So if you got any stress going on in your crib, between the 2 of you or in life with your jobs or with your children or with the routine, whatever you're going through, sex makes it feel like you ain't got no stress at all. You just feel like, why you laughing? You're so giggly.
No, I'm laughing because it's, you know what, for a man, it's all about that testosterone. And I am just, he's very evident of that. see how he's grinning? He goes into, no, but seriously, it's a fact. It's just a fact. Women, we have to realize that we don't have all that testosterone. All right, we're estrogen. You know, we may have a little testosterone.
I'm glad you got estrogen and not testosterone.
Exactly.
Let me say that out front on television.
But they have that, and you don't know what it's like to have that type of a hormone surging through your body. Surging. Sorry. And it's what drives them. It's what makes them a man. It's the male energy, and we have to understand that. We do have to understand that. I'm
just glad you understand it. Okay,
next.
Number 5. It's so much blasted fun, and I really don't know what to say about that. Sometimes there was a lady. I did a panel with Judge Maybelline and the Legacy ladies. Thank you so much for having me out for that, by the way. And a big shout out to them. Yeah. And one of the ladies that was in the front row, this came up, and she seemed like she just was repulsed by sex. And I just thought to myself, wow. Yeah. Ooh, I just, anyway. So it's so much fun. Hopefully it's fun. So that's the 5th reason. Yeah.
Well, that could be a lot of reasons for when a woman feels that way. I mean, it could be a bad part of her past.
Yeah, that's true.
Sexual molestation, you know. Being assaulted and being molested. Yeah. There's a whole lot. I have a lot of male friends that have told me about several situations that hit them just hard. when it came to a female. And let's say they're dating and, just been knowing each other for a long time.
Right.
And not knowing anything about that incident that happened in this woman's past until they become intimate and the woman cringes.
Yeah.
Or, I don't want you on top of me, because, I want go behind,
Well, hopefully.
This is a grown-up conversation, okay? Get your kids out of the room. But, it's a fact, and men have to be real sensitive to that.
Well, hopefully, in those situations, they can find a way that she can get the help she needs, and they can work through that together.
Yeah.
For the good of the marriage, but also for the good of the woman who's been through such a traumatic event, for sure.
And that has ended relationships.
Yeah.
If the woman has been through something like that, or even the man, you really got to deal with that. You can't sweep that under a rug, because it's going to come out somewhere. Sex is important because in a marriage, it's like that's your ultimate form of intimacy
and reconciliation.
Exactly. So that's why, dating casually and you get involved, that is such a high form of intimacy. You either, number one, for women, well, men too, you're going to start feeling some feelings for that person.
More so women. And
after
they
that.
don't realize that.
Yeah.
They get in.
More so
win
females.
dudes with sex and all that. Ooh, it's a bad idea.
Yeah, and it's like a marker for,
that's a whole nother.
It is,
yeah.
But sometimes that's like a marker for women, and it's just like, okay, well, after that happened, well, I know you feel more for me, or
Not necessarily.
Or it's gonna be so close, so intimate that you automatically, you're that type of woman or man that can throw that wall up, and it's like, well, I got what I want, I'm gone, I don't need to see you anymore. So it's just like, sex is that close. That's why it says the two become one.
Right. Because
you become one. And it's just, when you break that bond, it's a bond that forms. I used to laugh in the Bible. It always says, and he knew his wife.
Right. He did.
So Adam knew his wife. So-and-so knew his wife. And I was like, knew? Well, of course he knew him. That's what I was young.
That kind of know.
No, that means sex.
Yeah, but
it means sex. It means they came together as one. And it's like, I know you. That's
really,
deep.
Yes.
I really know you.
The two souls are connecting on a spiritual, soulful level. But that's interesting because the two become one. The two become one. Because on the thread, there were a couple of ladies there that were really kind of fighting this whole idea, saying, "I'm not going to do anything if I'm mad at him and he said something stupid. I don't want to feel forced." And it's almost like saying, "I'm not going to make love to myself." This is your husband, ladies. And oftentimes, when you're married, you sometimes have to do what you feel before you feel what you do.
Okay.
Do what you feel. Do the reality of the truth of what you're living in rather than having to feel it first. Yeah. And that's partly what marriage is. And that's tough for ladies. I know that. However, if you have a husband and you have a really strong...
What?
This book that Niecy Nash wrote, It's Hard to Fight Naked. I only bring that up, not to plug Niecy's book, although I am, because I love Niecy. But it is hard to fight naked. It's hard to be mad at somebody who you're making love to.
But But the point behind that is getting back to love. Okay, let's say, and let's get this out of the way. I know what you're thinking. No, sex will not keep a relationship together. It won't. Yeah, you're right. You can try to have sex over and over and over, and if the heart's not right, if you're angry, if you're feeling like you haven't resolved things, of course, it won't keep a relationship together. But that should be like a compass. I think sex should be like a compass. If you can't come together and have sex because both of you are you are just that much still in love with each other, then that's something it shows you something you got to work on. Because first of all, let's say I'm mad at you and something happened. I think you mistreated me in a certain area, or you didn't respect my feelings or something. If I don't come to you and we talk about that and clear it up, no, I don't want to feel like having sex.
Right.
But that shows me that that's something that I've got to deal with. My goal, our goal, ladies, should be getting back quickly to the point where we can get back to that to getting intimate with our husbands again. Because listen, if you're like, no, I ain't, that means you're probably holding on to something. You want to be right. You feel like you're not heard. You don't want to let go of a grudge. You don't want to let go of something that's keeping you mad and keeping you angry. And that's just something that women, as emotional creatures, we have to learn how to see it when it rears its ugly head. Because it can really kill your relationship. It really can. If you're not willing to hurry up and get back to saying, okay, I'm upset, I'm angry. Okay, let's talk this through. You got to get through that. It says you should never let anger go down, sundown on your wrath. Right. And that's true. Mm-hmm. Because that means whenever problems and issues come up, you can deal with them. And if you don't deal with them, that means you're holding on to something. You're holding on to something. And
you can't hold on to nothing, I'm going to tell you. Having been married a couple of times, I've been married for 24 years.
Yep.
But
total.
Which is a whole nother story. Ain't got time for it. But anyway, I don't know how much time we have left, but we probably should get out of this
thing. Wrap it up.
Wrapping it up. So, thank you for joining Conversations with Carl and Latonya. And I'm Carl Gilliard.
And I'm Latonya Black.
Latonya Black. Okay. Stay black. Peace.
Bye.